Hey my fellas, what is up? I'm Martin and today I'm starting a new series on my channel to teach you about FL Studio. I've been producing in FL Studio for about 4 years now. Um, so I'm not a professional by any means, so don't judge me on that. I just want to make some basic tutorials to teach you how everything works and stuff. So if you have any recommendations about what you want to hear from me or what you want to know, just leave it in the comment section down below and I will try to make a video about it. So let's get right into it. We will start by clicking File and picking a template. I'd recommend you to get Minimal and get Empty. This way you don't get the limiter on the master channel, which will destroy your track. Basically, you have to. The first 1.5 years I had this limiter on the master channel, and you live with it, right? You produce with the limiter on, and that's not right. I had to relearn everything actually to make a nice track without the limiter, so it's important to turn that one off, so now we don't have anything in the mixer. You also don't get the 4 basic samples in the channel rack, the kick, the snare, the hi-hat and the clap, but we will get to that now. We will start by looking at the browser. You can open the browser by clicking this button, or you can just do Alt and F8, but my keyboard doesn't allow that, so I always click this. In here you can find all samples actually you included within FL Studio. You get this with the cheapest version, you get all that's here. The plugins is a different story, but we'll get to that. So you get, if you click packs here, you can, for example, select drums. You have a cymbal, right? You have everything you basically need to start out FL Studio with. You have a kick, some SFX, percussion, really nice stuff actually to start out with. You can drag and drop these into the channel rack, which can be opened by clicking this button or pressing F6. My keyboard doesn't have an F6, so I always click this one. If we want to make actually a basic track, you can get, for example, a kick. You can click on the kick to see how the sample looks, and you can edit it within here, but that will be too complicated for now. So you can add a basic pattern to the kick. Now it sounds like this. If you want to make it faster or slower, here is the BPM meter. So if you want to make a basic house track, just put it at 128. You will always be fine. So now it sounds slower. You can add a snare. This is just a really basic pattern I'm showing you now. Let's see if we can find a nice hat. Doesn't matter actually for this tutorial. But now you have something like this. Let's make it a little bit less loud. And now you have a really basic drum pattern. You can also make new patterns. This is now pattern 1. You can name pattern 1 if you would like to. And you can make as many patterns actually as you want, as you can see. So we now have only one pattern made, but you can also, if you want the kick separated from the other two samples, just click this one and cut, and then you can paste it within here. But I'll leave it in pattern 1 for now. What you can do with these patterns is putting them into the playlist where you can arrange your full track actually. So yeah, we will get to that in a later tutorial. Now you have your basic drum pattern made. You can, for example, select an instrument if you want. These are just basic FL Studio instruments. You can, for example, get a keyboard, close grand, for example, just a piano. It has to load direct wave, a sampler from FL Studio. I think this is a really nice piano. We can add a little MIDI in here, and then it will play it in here, but we will get to that in a later tutorial. Let me see, maybe I have some MIDI things already in here. I'm not quite sure. I don't think so, actually, so doesn't matter, we will continue. If you are fed up with these samples from FL Studio, you can add your own samples as well. I have my sample pack folder in here. This is where I stored all my samples from the last 3 to 4 years, I guess. You can make your own sample pack by, yeah, first you have to get your samples. You can do it on the internet. There are plenty free samples you can download. You can also buy a sample pack and put it in there. And the way you do that is go to Options, then going to File Settings, and click one of these thingies. It's a folder, and you have to select the folder, the sample folder actually. So if you have save it in music, for example I have, so this one, I just click on this one and press OK, and it will show in here. And if you refresh the browser, just clicking 2 times on this one, you will see the sample pack and the other one, samples presets I have. You can see them in the browser, and from there you can select your samples you downloaded. For example, these ones. Or from Cymatics, they have really nice samples. I like this one. So that's basically it for the browser. But you can, from one side of the browser actually, you can also find the plugins in this one. But if you click on this right thing with the power plug, or what is it, or I don't know what it is, or what it's called, but if you, this is where you can find all your plugins. So you can see, for example, effects. You can place these in the mixer. But we will get to that in a later tutorial. You can, for example, if you want some echo, you can add that to a certain instrument or sample. You also have generators. This basically are instruments. Putting it simply, if you, for example, want a synthesizer, this one is comes with all FL Studio versions, so it's nice to try it out and see it for yourself. You can also add it by clicking on this plus button in the channel rack and find the plugin. This one is called GMS. I don't know where it's located. Let me see. Here it is. So now you have another copy of it, and it will automatically name it the second, so you can generate it. You can also make your own names with it, but doesn't really matter. I usually am a little bit messy with this, so I don't put my own names in it. Yeah, you can just play the instrument, putting in some MIDI notes, but we will get to that again in a later tutorial. You can also, if you installed an external plugin, you can refresh plugin list, I'm sorry, fast scan, and it will, if you have installed new plugins, it will automatically detect new plugins. So you can, for example, in here are a lot of plugins I have installed, external plugins, not made by ImageLine, the FL Studio company. You can also go to options again and to manage plugins and press start scan. No, first you have to hit all these boxes and uncheck some I recommend you to do that. It's the most efficient way for me especially to find new plugins I have installed, and just hit start scan and it will find all the plugins you have installed. This takes a little bit longer than fast scan in here, but you will guaranteed get all the plugins you have installed. So that's basically it for this tutorial. Created a really nice drum track actually. If you have any suggestions on what tutorials I should make, let me know. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and don't forget, if you liked it, to subscribe and like. And if you didn't like it, leave a dislike. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.